wanted to spend a little time talking about double stops and the way they appear on the board. The question came from a friend of the channel's who wanted to know about their application in jazz. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the jazz part of it so much here, but just an initial going over the intervals and how they might appear in fingerings. I hope that might be helpful. If you've not yet done so, please do subscribe to the channel. It does help. Like, share, leave a comment. If you'd like to leave me a tip, I'd like that. And the PayPal information is in the description below. So we're going to get to it here with some double stops. I've chosen a line in the key of 1 sharp. Just an ascending scale to give us some room to play. E, F sharp, G, A, B. So you could see it as an E minor scale ascending to the 5th. But I'm just seeing it as the key of 1 sharp. And we're going to look at different ways to harmonize. So the first way might be seconds. So it's a very tight sound, usually requires some stretching. So the idea is we're taking this E, putting a D below it, and we're just going to move them each up to their next neighbor in the scale. And that's what we'll be doing with all of these intervals once we establish them. So here's seconds. Some tight sounds. If you were to add another voice, you can make some nice things happen. So this is D and E, 7 and 5, E and F sharp, 9 and 7, F sharp and G, 11 and 8, 12 and 10, that's G and A and B. Easiest thing is if you're seeing the board and you know the notes on the board, you can adjust your fingering to fit within the framework that you're working with. So after seconds, we'll have diatonic thirds. So here on the 3rd and 2nd string, where I'm focused mainly, it's going to be this straight across shape. So C and E, a 3rd below. We're going to have either one of 2 patterns, straight across, or this slant, which I'd recommend using 3rd and 2nd fingers for. So C and E, 5 and 5, D and F sharp, 7, 7, E and G, 9 and 8, F sharp and A, 11 and 10, G and B, 12, 12. Fun to explore. So our next one, fourths. You hear these maybe more in jazz. Fourths harmonization coming from, one could give McCoy Tyner quite a bit of credit for this. Fourths, chordal kinds of harmony. I'm adding a 3rd voice. So here's B and E, 4 and 5. And again, we're going to get just a few shapes. B and E, C and F sharp, 5 and 7, D and G, 7 and 8, E and A, 9 and 10, F sharp and B, 11 and 12. A little bit like we have a harmonizer pedal on. How about fifths? We can do them on adjacent strings. So here's A and E, a 5th, 2nd and 5th fret, B and F sharp, 4th and 7th fret, C and G, 5 and 8, D and A, 7 and 10. We're only going to have to change one time to make this work. The fingering's always the same except for one exception in a diatonic scale. E and B, 9 and 12. Here's our little exception. When we get here, F sharp and C, 11 and 13. Just because we're conforming to this scale. Fourths, fifths, very strong kind of sound. Thirds, seconds. Now how about sixths? So now have a broken string set. We're not on adjacent strings. Here's G and E at the 5th fret. We're only going to have two shapes, A and F sharp, 7 and 7, B and G, 9 and 8, C and A, 10 and 10, D and B, 12 and 12. And closely related to the thirds in their agreeableness. You hear popular melodies harmonize this way quite a bit in older country songs and, well, all over the place. The fourths and fifths always bring to mind plain chant or Gregorian chant to my ear, back when really all they knew what to do was to track melodies with perfect intervals. So after the 6th, we get one that I think is really promising, is the 7th. I think this is ripe for exploration. So here's F sharp and E, 4th and 5th fret of the 4th and 2nd strings. We're just going to move everybody up diatonically. Again, two shapes only. So this offset slant shape, 4 and 5, G and F sharp, 5 and 7, A and G, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, B and A, C and B, 10 and 12. Going between different ones. Sounds like a chord scale with tenths. So we had ninths. How about tenths? So C and E, 3 and 5. Now we're on the 5th and 2nd strings. D and F sharp, 5 and 7. E and G, 7 and 8. F sharp and A, 9 and 10. G and B, 10 and 12. You might have heard in the intro I harmonized these in fourths with a tenth on the outside. So here's a Lydian sound 4-note chord, so it's not double stops anymore, but might be interesting. C, F sharp, B, E. So we're in the key of 1 sharp. So 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, kind of a D7 sus. E, A, D, G, 7, 7, 7, 8. F sharp, B, E, A, 9, 9, 9, 10, and 10, 10, 11, 12. how about, what did we not do? So this is a fifth up an octave. I should say, a fourth up an octave. I haven't heard many people do that one before. So B and E, 7 and 5 on the 6th and 2nd strings. C and F sharp, 8 and 7. 10 and 8, D and G. E and A, that was 12 and 10. 14, 12, F sharp and B. Makes me want to play. Sevenths, sixths. Seconds. We could do the intervals above, same melody with the note below. So here's E now with a G above. Only two shapes again, thirds. 5 and 3, E and G. F sharp and A, 7 and 5. G and B, 8 and 7. A and C, 10 and 8. B and D, 12 and 10. Fourth would be straight across. And we only have one where it's not straight across, which is C and F sharp, 13 and 14. Otherwise, 12, 12, 10, 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 5, 5. Fifths, with a fifth above, 5 and 7, that's E and B. F sharp and C, our slant shape, 7 and 8. A, G and D, 8 and 10. A and E, 10, 12. Sorry, I left the key. 12 and 14. B and F sharp. See how jarring it is to leave the key all of a sudden. So that might be some of what you explore in double stops, is mixing keys. Maybe pick a few keys, run something in one key. How about, I'll do G, key of 1 sharp, and come down in something else. Let's say A. That was up in A and down in C. All kinds of possibilities to explore. Please do let me know if you have questions on any of this. I hope some of it has been of interest and helpful. If you've watched this far, I do appreciate your kind attention and wish you a very good day.